is Jalen Rose. I'm David Jacoby. We are Jalen and Jacoby. What is it that we do?
We get the people what they want.
Happy Friday to everyone except for Lakers fans, because late last night they faced off against the Clippers, and while it was close for the first two quarters in the third quarter, the Clippers pulled away on the back of Reggie Jackson. Jalen Rose, did you think Reggie Jackson would be the biggest star of this game going into it?
Only in California. This is a Hollywood script. So let me get this right. Former great Detroit Piston, along with Morris and Luke Kennard, Reggie Jackson is on the big stage playing against future Hall of Famers like Russell Westbrook and LeBron James. He's having a career night. They have a better record than the Lakers without Kawhi. Most of the season without PG. They just added Powell and Covington, so they got better. And now all of a sudden you got Russ isolated. Show him crossover Russ, please. Please show me that play. Like, I want to really get into this game. Like, look at that. He did the stanky leg, dog. Like, is somebody out there doing a stanky leg on you, dog? That's disrespectful. That was like Gary Payton tried to do the white chocolate. Remember he crossed him over, GP tried to trip him. That's why. And that's why when you see the Allen Iverson video of Ty Lue, that's why Draymond Green was like, no, LeBron ain't stepping over me. And he got suspended. So let me say more. So now all of a sudden you still having this big game. And by the way, y'all waxing the Lakers. National TV, y'all just waxing the Lakers. LeBron playing the 5, he playing the 1. They got junk lineups out there. It's Austin Reeves out there. This ain't the 17 championship Lakers that I'm seeing on the floor. And then I hear the crowd that played top dollar in Los Angeles. Let me see who was on the marquee. Who were they chanting last night? Are they saying Reggie?
Did they say Reggie?
In the house that Kobe Bryant and Shaq built? For the franchise that had Wilt West, Magic, and Kareem and Worthy? Are we serious right now? I do not want to disrespect Reggie Jackson because that's my guy. He was balling a career night. But this is the lowest of the lows. Like, people was walking around downtown Los Angeles last night, Jacoby. It was somber. Okay, like, people were actually upset. Like, this is what I was thinking. And here's the bad thing for LeBron James. If you play every minute of every game, people gonna say you stat chasing for the record of all-time scoring. If you shut it down, people gonna say you quit on the squad.
Exactly, yeah, you can't win.
So what you gotta do is what most of the rest of the world has to do when turbulence happens. See, usually great players, they don't get as much turbulence as the rest of us, you know what I'm saying? They get to fly like 15 of their 20 years at a great altitude. You see what I'm saying? But every now and then the road get a little bumpy. And it's happening right now for LeBron. And here's what he gotta do. He gotta play harder. And he had to reinvest. Yes. I'm telling you, dog, a lot of this has to do with talent, but it just has to do with effort as well. Always remember, Jalen Rose told you this. A measure of your GPA in school is your effort. If you show up every day, if you have a good attitude, if you have a good posture, you don't have to open your mouth. You'll pass just by doing those things. Test taking, that's a skill. And in basketball, the regular season, Jacoby, is about effort. Look at the teams. Look at Memphis, the Bulls. They're beating teams because they have MVP candidates like DeMar DeRozan and Ja Morant, but that's the only people on their squad y'all talking about. Why? Because the rest of the people are playing with dirty work and effort. That's what the Lakers don't have, and that's why they're getting waxed by the Clippers. And they got LeBron James at the podium. Did LeBron James say the Clippers was better than the Lakers?
Here's the thing. I started the season, Lakers, my favorites to win the West. And I was like, oh, when AD comes back, they'll get it back. They'll be in the top 4 seeds. And then I was like, oh, AD went back out. Well, when AD comes back, maybe they'll have a puncher's chance in the playoffs. Now I'm like, no chance, no way, stop the fight. They're going to lose in the play-in. They're going to lose in the play-in. The Pelicans are going to go over them and get the 9 seed at least, too. And they're going to lose the first game of the play-in, and then you're not going to hear from LeBron for 2 weeks. I'm telling you, man, we can see what's happening. I no longer believe in this team. Not even 1% chance to even win 2 rounds in the playoffs. There's no chance. I don't care if they get AD back. I don't care if they get Westbrook back. I don't care if they get Magic Johnson back. I don't care if they get Kareem Abdul-Jabbar back. I don't care if they get Kurt Rambis back. I don't care about anything. The Lakers are doing nothing this season, and then they're going to trade Westbrook in the offseason and hopefully bring a roster that can support LeBron James better than this one.
And I have to say more names when LeBron isn't around me. Okay, Russell Westbrook, like I said, future Hall of Famer. I love the intangibles that Russ brings.
Once Jalen starts complimenting you like this.
He misses more layups for any great player in the restricted area that I've seen in a while. And let me talk about the Lakers and what they gave up to get LeBron's championship. A lot of young talent. Of course, they wouldn't have been able to keep this talent over a 5-6 year period. But what ends up happening is this becomes the residue of you using young talent that now you have the oldest team in the history of the NBA. And these guys are other places balling. And by the way, Brandon Ingram, Kyle Kuzma, not even listed.
On this page. We just took 2 pages.
Boom! Here comes the boom. Here comes the boom.
Julius Randle, all-star.
So that's the investment that the Lakers paid when they got LeBron and their franchise the bubble championship. And that's fine. When Dirk wins one with the Mavs, that's celebrated forever. But this is the Lakers, and it's a different expectation. And I'm telling you right now, Purple and Gold Nation ain't happy that you talking about C.J. McCollum and Brandon Ingram being coached by Willie Green is basically about to eliminate the Lakers in the play-in. Is that what you said?
It's wild. Well, the Lakers are the star-studded team in the Western Conference's underperforming expectations. The Nets are the star-studded team in the Eastern Conference underperforming expectations. A lot of their underperformance has to do with availability, but Kevin Durant was available last night as they hosted the Miami Heat, and it was a good game up until the end. Mr. Rose, before we get to KD, let's celebrate what the Miami Heat have been able to do, not just last night, but this entire season.
In particular, Bam, right? So, he's now become that anchor that has taken his game to another level where he can be a game-changing big in the league and dominant in the East. Not all-star level, MVP level yet, like Giannis and Joel Embiid, but right underneath them. That's how it should be when he comes to town. And that's what he's doing with the points, the boards, the blocks, the switches out on the perimeter, the communication, because the perimeter players have been locked in. Now, Jimmy, let me be a person to say this out loud. If he get his shooting together, he have a terrible shooting year happening.
Yeah,
for those of us that really watch the game. From 2, from 3, from the free throw line, and they're still flirting with the number 1 seed. But Hero's picking up the slack, and Eric Spoelstra's talent development. You see Strus playing quality minutes. Twin dunking on people. He had over 20, I believe, in this game. Absolutely. And so now all of a sudden, I look at this Heat squad. They're going to get Lowry back. They have the most depth to me and the most chemistry of a squad that has legitimate chance, other than the Bucks, they're the defending world champions, to come out of the East. And I must say this, when you start talking about all-time great players and those that are about to get their number retired, shout out to Udonis Haslem.
Yep.
Who's going to get his number retired by the Heat one day?
Jalen, we always talk about the Nets and how they haven't had all their players available during the season. The Heat haven't either, yet they're number 1 in the Eastern Conference. The Heat have very rarely had Lowry, Butler, Hero, Bam, and everybody is all available at the same time. If they can get healthy and available for the playoffs, I might just pick them to win the East. I'm not close to picking them to win the East.
If you want a safe bet, it's the Miami Heat. They won it 2 years ago. Other than Pop, to me, they have the best coach in the NBA. They have a built-in chemistry that we've talked about as the Miami Mafia. But let me tell you something that's going to be a beautiful thing once the playoffs start. That unlike the Lakers, KD ain't allowing the Nets to get eliminated in the play-in. And he came back last night. Did you see?
He looked
see
good.
Easy Money Sniper?
He
you see
looked
this
good.
right
He
here?
looked good.
Oh,
He looked ready. I watched him
dribble.
last night. I was like, he should have came back earlier. Look at this dude.
Don't that look different? Don't that
Yes.
look different? Catching
Yes.
it against the zone, no dribble, face up, 7. Oh, off the bounce, off the left. Hezzy.
Easy.
All
Look
net
at the way the
easy
ball
money.
goes
Oh,
in.
3 ball, he checked, bang, bang. And so, like, don't forget now, we want more.
Just walk into that.
And so all of a sudden, Kyrie, we don't know what's going to happen with the restrictions, clearly, but he's going to play in road games. And you and I both know this. Mark KD and Kyrie down for 30 each. Like, I remember watching Kyrie and LeBron torch people on the way to the NBA championship, including the Golden State Warriors when they were down 3-1. And I was at the game when they both had 40. Like, this is now graduating and reminding me of this could be now Kyrie and KD. So when these playoffs start, it's going to be great fantasy. It's going to be great theater to see. And we don't even know what's going to happen with Ben Simmons.
I have no belief in the Lakers winning a play-in game, but the Nets, I'm penciling them in. They're already the 7th seed. They're already the 7th seed. They can be whatever seed they want. Very quickly, let's talk about a matchup between two teams from different conferences that are headed in the same direction, and that direction is up. I'm talking about the Grizzlies and the Celtics. This one was great, but it was Jason Tatum with a little reminder to everybody that not only is his team performance, but his personal